have a story today that I want to share with you from my real life that I really think is going to bring you a lot of hope. If you are tired of the dating scene, you're like, where is my husband? Where are all the emotionally available men who are pursuing, who are intentional? I want to share that they are out there, and I want to share some really great news. I just started dating yesterday. Yesterday, I had a phone date. I told God in March of 2024, I can't do this anymore. I need you to completely gut out all of the unhealthy patterns and the old programming and the old beliefs and just everything that is inside of me, the addiction to chaos, the addiction to actually chasing after unavailable men. God, I need you to just take all that and install a whole new operating system in me. And not only that, but I came to the realization that without God's support and guidance every day, I was going to continue down this path of choosing the wrong type of guys over and over and over again. I just surrendered completely in March of last year. It's been a whole year. Today, as I'm recording this, it's the beginning of April, so just a little bit over a year. And I went on my first date. Well, I didn't go anywhere. My first date was right here. I was on the phone with a man last night and had the most incredible conversation. I will tell you that God has outdone himself, put in a whole new operating system inside of me as I surrendered to this amazing process that I went through for a whole entire year from March 2024 to March of this year. I have up leveled. I can feel it like inside of me. I became this whole new woman. I experienced myself in a way that I had never experienced myself before. Now, it didn't start out this way. Like in the beginning of my journey in March of 2024, I was sad, I was weary, I was tired, I was like afraid to be single. I'm almost 50 years old, and I was like, I have to give up an entire year to be single. Like, I'm running out of time. And a year just felt so long. And I didn't know if even after a year things would change and if I would end up changing it all and meeting someone, or if I'd have to go 3 years being single or the rest of my life. I just had gotten to this place where I was like, I don't even care anymore. Like, if I am single for the rest of my life, I just don't want to feel the way I've been feeling. I was just like uncle waving the white flag. In the first few months, I was just kind of going through all kinds of realizations of how much I had spent the majority of my life searching externally for approval, validation, for love, for happiness, for contentment, for joy, for all these different things. And although I've been in a really amazing journey since 2006, there's been 18 years of my life where I have been steeped in a lot of personal growth. I came to this point in 2024 where it's just like, okay, I got sober, healed from an eating disorder, healed from panic attacks, healed from migraines, like just all these things I've been healed from. But there was still this thing of like, okay, I've now realized some dreams, marked some things off my bucket list, like being a lead singer in a rock band and illustrating a number of books, painting murals, being a freelance artist, moving to Hawaii, which was my dream location. But I still could not figure out the whole thing of like, how do you attract an emotionally available man? Yeah, I was connecting the dots of like, wow, this has been pervasive my whole entire life. Like, I have never really felt like content or whole. I don't even know necessarily what that would feel like if I actually felt in my central nervous system a feeling of contentment, a feeling of wholeness, a feeling of peace and joy just by being alone with myself. Like, I am not a person who's afraid to go to a movie by myself or go to a conference by myself. In fact, I just got back from a conference in Texas where I went completely by myself, did not know anyone, was there with about 1,000 other entrepreneurs, and I felt completely fine to go to that event. And I felt content and confident. I loved the way my insides matched my outsides at this conference. So I've been a person who We'll go jogging by myself, we'll go hiking by myself, we'll go to the beach by myself. But there was, prior to how I feel now, there was this feeling of this incompletion, of craving, looking for the one. Like, are you the one? Are you the one? Are you the one? Now, after this whole entire year where I have just surrendered it all to God and just concentrated on my relationship with God, reading the Bible every day out of a choice because I want to, I've turned the corner and I feel this whole new level of myself, experiencing a whole new level within myself of this contentment and peace and joy. And as a result of choosing myself, loving myself, being intentional, writing down a list of what it is that I really want in a relationship, what is it that I really need in a relationship, rewiring my beliefs and changing my mindset around dating and relationships, and noticing what were those old beliefs that I used to have, like, there are no available men in the world. Well, yes, there are. Or it's too late for me. No, it's not. This is impossible. No, it's possible. It's actually possible, and it's happening for people all over the world. Um, because the truth is what you focus on is what you're going to get. What you focus on is what you're going to get more of, right? Like, if you focus on gratitude, you're going to get more gratitude. The more I focused on healthy relationships, the more I focused on what it was that I actually wanted, which was a high virtue man who is successful, who is emotionally intelligent, who is mature, who's experienced, who knows how to communicate, who's interested in me, who knows how to court a woman, who's a little more old fashioned. The more I concentrated on the fact that there are these men out there and how I could become the woman that would attract this type of man, the more I just found things coming into my life that were in alignment with that. Podcasts were coming into my life, and people, and books, and YouTube videos that were bringing in all of this positive information into my life, that were solidifying that this is true. This old operating system that I used to have inside of me, of lack and low self-worth and kind of addicted to chaos, and uh, that was what was prevalent in me, and that just needed to be gutted out. So I didn't pay attention to dating at all for a whole entire year, and just fed my mind, my soul, and my body with this new information. And and at times it didn't look like I was really growing, but clearly I have changed, because this date that I had last night was completely different than all the dates that I had had before then. It was like when Dorothy landed in a different land. The land that she used to be in was literally black and white, and now she opens the door and she's now in a world of technicolor. And that's how it feels to me. Back in March of 2024, it was like my dating life was kind of in black and white. I felt like I was dating the same guys over and over and over. They were just kind of like the same guy, but a different face. And in some ways, things always kept getting a little bit better, because I'm always trying to learn and grow and integrate my new uh, realizations and such. I'm definitely someone that's hungry for personal growth, but nevertheless, I wasn't getting what I really wanted in love and relationships. And now that I've really found that the source is within me, and in God, in my relationship with God, I don't feel a sense of lack. I feel a sense of wholeness. I feel a sense of unification, of love all around me, no matter what. And even if I'm single for the rest of my life, I still feel content and joy. And as a result, I'm now stepping into this whole new world of Technicolor where, like, this phone call that I was on with this man last night, we had, from the second we started talking, it was just engaging conversation, extremely mature. um the way that I felt, I didn't feel all amped up. And even before the phone call, I was like, this just feels so different. I would be like so nervous in the past, overthinking things, and almost all of that was completely gone. There was just a sense of peace, and of like, okay, I'm talking to a man, and I know that he is not on a pedestal. I'm not going to ever put him on a pedestal. God is on the pedestal. God is the first and foremost, most important thing in my life and always will be and will remain there. And a man is just a part of my already amazing life. He's just a little part of the a little piece of the pie. And so I don't have to get all in a tizzy about talking to this man. I just can get to know him. And until I know this man, which will take a lot of time, he is literally just a stranger. And there's no need for me to get all crazy and cuckoo about him and start thinking about him and fantasizing about him. Have a call, and that is it. And in the past, I would know these things, but it was like there was an inability to actually fall through and feel like I was someone who could actually do these things. Now there's a full embodied experience of this, where not only am I very aware of this stuff, but I'm also able to feel this way, and I'm actually calm, and I'm actually present, and I'm actually not fantasizing, and it's easy. And I got off the phone and I was like, that was a pleasant phone call. And then I went to bed. And then this morning, I just carried on with my life. And I got a message from him later on today, which was extremely thoughtful and mature. And, he said he was delighted to talk to me and thoroughly enjoyed our conversation and is looking forward to hopefully spending some more time, possibly this weekend. He wants to take me to dinner. I feel like a worthy woman. I feel like I finally have the sense of, like I said, like worthiness and confidence to date in a way that I think I've always wanted to, which is to approach it with mindfulness and attention. And before I got on the phone call with this gentleman, I had already, like I said, done a whole year of unplugging from dating and relationships after my realizations and kind of hitting a bottom in March of 2024. About, I'd say, like a month ago, as my year was coming up, I checked in with my mentor, and we came up with a dating plan, called it a sober dating plan. I am sober, um, but it's more like dating soberly. Like, yes, not drinking for me, but like a sober state of mind and all of that. Like, obviously no drugs, but just emotional sobriety as well is included in that. And like, I actually have a document that I typed up. Where is it? I don't know. It's probably over there. Of like an ideal. Now, I'm not going to be rigid about this. Basically, it's a plan of, how many times do I really think it's going to be healthy for me to text this person or to call this person, and to take things extremely slowly, because in the past I would go so fast, and I knew this, but I felt like I had an inability to slow down. And now that's why I say, like, I feel like I'm having a full embodied experience of, not only am I aware of these things to go slow, but I'm actually able to do them. God has given me the power of choice, because where the Spirit of the Lord, there's freedom. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's freedom. And spending all this time with God this past year has just given me yet again another level of choice. Whereas before, I feel like I didn't have a choice to drink or not. Now I know that I do. I didn't have a choice to binge and purge my food. For a long time, I was suffering with an eating disorder, and now I feel like I do have that choice to not do that to myself. And it's just, God has brought me through so many things and healed me, because that is what God does. Before I even got on the phone with this gentleman last night, I had a sober dating plan in place. I wrote out an entire list of what I'm actually looking for in a partner, what I need, non-negotiables, and the values, the character traits that I'm looking for in a partner. And I sent that document over to my mentor just so I could have some accountability, because I feel like what we write, what we speak is so powerful and so important. So given that, I really took this seriously and wrote down what it was that I was wanting to, I guess you could say, like, kind of co-create with God, and just presenting my prayer requests out to God, and just leaving the outcome up to God, and saying, okay, I'm going to put in the footwork. I'm going to show up. I'm not just going to sit on, my couch expecting him to come my way, but I also don't need to go and look for him. I'm just going to put myself in those situations where I could be found, but only in those situations where I actually really want to be there. Like, for instance, I could meet someone at the gym. That's a great place to meet someone who's into health and fitness. I actually like going to the gym. So great. That's a place that I could potentially meet someone. or at church. I really, really love going to church. It's a place where you could potentially meet someone. I just volunteered at this beach cleanup here in Oahu, where I live. That's another great place to meet someone who likes to volunteer. So I signed up for that. Now, my job is just to live my life and do the things that I love and get myself out there, and and that's what I'm doing. And going to coffee shops and editing these videos. You never know, you might meet someone. So I did meet this gentleman through a dating app. It's a Facebook dating app, which you don't have to pay for. I don't have any other dating apps in my life right now because I just didn't want to get on any, but this one was free. And so I just happened to be looking the other day, and I recognized him. I was like, I think I've seen him at the gym. Nonetheless, we chatted a bit on the Facebook dating app, and then he pretty quickly asked me if I would like to join him for dinner, and I asked him if we could have a phone call, and we had a really nice conversation last night. So we're gonna then go to a dinner, and we'll see where it goes. And I feel very calm about this, and I'm excited because it's like, even if it doesn't work out, I still get to meet a person, and um I just get to do things differently today, and I really am grateful, and I get to meet another child of God, and I get to just be honest and really pray about whether or not this is the right partner for me, because I believe that there is a person who is going to be better suited for me with my goals and my dreams and the kind of person that I am, and what it is that I feel like I really need, and what I've come to learn that I really need in a relationship. And through conversation and communication, we'll find out if this person is a person that I could co-create a relationship with. And he might come to find out that I'm not the type of woman that he's looking for. And whether he decides that I'm not the one, or I decide that he's not the one, or we both, or we do, all of that is all okay. It's just part of the process. I really do see how important it is to cultivate an inner sense of self-worth, and in knowing that your identity is placed in who you are as a child of God, and what Christ did for you on the cross, which is, you are priceless, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And when you spend some time with Jesus, and you just know how much Jesus loves you so, so much, and when you have the word of God and the truth of who you are living inside of you, and when you have God as your provider, your protector, and your everything, and you know that to the core of your being and your central nervous system, that you never have to have financial insecurity, even if all the money in your bank went away, because you know that God is going to just supply you with everything that you need, because it says in his word, if God's going to supply the birds and the sparrows with what they need, is he not going to also give that to his children? God will always give you what you need. God will give you your manna for the day. And when you spend day after day after day after day in the presence of God, when you give yourself the opportunity to just make God your everything, and not just a thing that you logically, you say, like, you live this. Faith without works is dead. When you live this, you get it into your nervous system, into your being, and you profess that over and over, and you just declare it. I am a child of God. You can approach dating in such a different way, in the way that I am right now, that I feel like I am a whole new creation. And that's the cool thing, is we are new creations in Christ. Every day, God makes us new. Every moment, God's giving us a new opportunity for us to rewrite a new story. When we have these new awarenesses, when we get to these points where we're like, God, I can't do it anymore, it's like, yeah, I know. God's like, yeah, let me do it. Let me do it. So I'm very excited. And I just wanted to pop on and share that good news with you, that if you are finding that you're just in a place of, you're just weary and tired and sick and tired, there is hope. There is hope in Jesus. There's hope in the Bible. You can cry out to God and just say, God, help me. If you ask, you will receive. If you knock, the door will be opened to you. Do you not perceive it? God will make rivers in the desert, and he will make a way, because he is the great way maker. If you believe this, then drop a comment and say, yes, you believe that God can do anything, that God is amazing, and with God, all things are possible. And also, please share your experience of what's going on in your dating life, what has worked for you, and what God's speaking into your life, and anything else that you want to comment. I would love to hear from you. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks for being here. Bye.